Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Tavpravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuttam Sanjeevayatyakila Shakti Dharasvathamna Anyamsha Hastacharana Shravanatvagadin प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं समचरण सरोजं सान्द्रनीलाम्बुदाभं जघननिहितपाणिं मण्डनं मण्डनानां तरुणतुलसीमालां कन्धरं कञ्जनेत्रं सदयधवलहासं विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि Vithalam Chintayami. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. We are just going to complete this chapter and enter a new chapter immediately thereafter. We have finished 505 Ovis and we have to start tonight from 506. Chapter 21. Isn't it? So over to you, Shri Hariji.
The Vedas have importance so long as the sense of division is prevalent. And if that sense of division merges into non-duality, the Veda says not this, and becomes defunct. 506. The ice, which is made of water only, get dissolved in water. Similarly, Veda merges into final oneness or non-duality. Or oneness or non-duality. This is the gist, the essence of what is called Dhyana Kanda or the division of Veda relating to knowledge. I have told this because I love you. 507. Veda has dissolved itself by this knowledge, just as fire produced by friction between two wooden pieces burns those woods. 508. By the sentence that Brahman is the state of non-duality, the sense of duality is destroyed as false, and there Vedas rest and Brahman is existing as it is. 509. In the Brahman, which is pure without any disturbance, there is a pulsation of awareness. I am Brahman, and there Om becomes manifest, and that Om is also Brahman, which is called Ekakshar Brahma, or one letter reality. 510. From that Om, the vowels and consonants came into being, and Veda, with all its branches, developed itself. This all including Veda, is, in that point of view, Brahman only. 511. Just as when we see ornaments of gold, it is gold only. So the whole expanse of Veda is Om and myself. 512. The Lord Sri Krishna, who is a supreme person described by Veda, who is a divine tree for fulfilling the desires of the devotees, and who is as dark as cloud, and who is the eternal peace of Atman, Atma Rama, was teaching Uddhava like this. 513. He said, all the three divisions are not contradictory to themselves, and what I have told you is the real meaning of Veda. 514. O Uddhava, there is another meaning of any kind of this Veda, and what I have told you is the only purpose, the meaning, the life of Veda. 515. When one concentrates on this real meaning, that I am the final goal defined in the Vedas, the duality between the Jiva and Shiva comes to an end, and there is only happiness. 516. Uddhava, having listened to this talk of the Lord, his mind was filled with that meaning. Tears came into his eyes, and mind merged into atmic joy. 517. The chitta, consciousness, merged into spirit. His body was full of pleasurable sensation of inner joy, and there were goose pimples all over. There was choking sensation in his throat by emotion. 518. His body was full of sweat. It began to shiver. Tears of joy welled up in his eyes. The words refused to come out of his mouth. He began to feel giddy, but by effort he controlled himself. 519. Somehow his mind had become alert. He felt that if he would be senseless enough, The Lord may suddenly leave and go to his own place. He opened his eyes with his mind apprehensive. 520. But now the Lord Sri Krishna was present before him in this beautiful body of dark color. His crown, his earrings and waistband, the yellow apparel around his lower body, and the long garland of white flowers hanging down up to his feet. 521. He was already experiencing the joy of the spiritual consciousness, and as soon as he opened his mind, he saw that spirit in the form of Sri Krishna. 522. Uddhava said to himself, Sri Krishna is condensed spirit, image of life pervading the universe, and totality of Brahman, including the concrete and abstract facet of it. 523. Great was the fortune of Uddhava, which is nothing but the result of blessings of Lord Sri Krishna, because he had experienced then and there the joy of both the concrete and abstract divine presence. 524. When the Sadguru gives full benediction, the desire, the aspiration, the demand of the disciple is deciding factor. If he wants to see God in an image, the material manifestation, the Guru endows upon him the power to see the God as he wants. 525. If the disciple wants to enjoy the abstract aspect, the Guru gives him the power to experience the joy of formless, timeless, measureless, and pure Brahman. 526. He is able to give to the disciple capacity to swim in the pool of joy of both the abstract and the concrete presentation of one absolute Brahman. 527. Great is the glory and the power of the Guru, which the Vedas cannot describe adequately. What is it which is not available if Guru blesses a man? 528. By the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, this knowledge that Sri Krishna is both Saguna and Nirguna, concrete and abstract, arose in the heart of Uddhava. He was convinced about it. 529. He immediately fell down at the feet of Lord Sri Krishna. 530. At that moment, Lord held Uddhava by all his four hands, which were decorated by bracelet, kankana, and embraced him with great joy. 531. That joy can be understood only by those who have realization. Only Lord Sri Krishna knows what joy Uddhava experienced. 532. The Lord said, this teaching given by me is the content of the chapter 21, which is the rest of the rest, the secret treasure of the meaning of Veda. 533. This chapter 21 is able to break the sense of ego, which is always in the subtle body. The jiva forgets its separate existence. 534. The chapter 21 makes one realize that identification with physical body is illusory and the name and form becomes meaningless. 535. This chapter 21 causes the destruction of ignorance together with the knowledge, and here the peace takes rest. 536. The meaning of Veda, which I told you in such a way that knowledge becomes shy and disappears, and experience, which implies duality of the experience and the subject of the experience, gets drowned. And even the words in the Vedas becomes ineffective to describe. 537. The commentary which I have made on the essence of the meaning of Veda is the secret treasure of the universal Atman. Who is I myself? I have given you the inner core of my being because you are my dear friend. 538. O Uddhava, nobody can have this knowledge, even if he makes all the millions of penances, unless he is fortunate to have the blessings of the Guru. 539. And to get the blessings of the Guru, one should follow his own religion, listen to the spiritual scriptures, and learn to recite Vedas. 540. For this blessing of Guru, one should be the meekest of the meek and should surrender oneself to the saints. Then only the Master Guru Janardana will be pleased. 541. In my case, Guru himself is pleased and speaking through me in order to teach this commentary on Bhagavata to the listeners. And therefore, Eknath prays Janardana that he may always be kind to me. 542. Eknath says that in the next chapter, Uddhava will ask the nature of Purusha and Prakriti and the number of principles in the creation. 543. The Lord Sri Krishna, while answering to that question, will also give information about the birth and the death. the story in that chapter will be very meaningful about spiritual path. 544. The talk of the Lord Sri Krishna will be such that it will develop desirelessness in the mind. 545. Just as the space within a pot joins the vaster space as soon as the pot is broken, Eknath has surrendered himself to the Janardana, the Guru, by bowing to whom there is immediate upsurge of inspiration to tell the story interestingly. Thus ends the Marathi commentary by the Saint Eknath on the 21st chapter of the 11th Skandha of Bhagavata Purana, dedicated to the Lord Sri Krishna. Chapter 22. Om. Salutations to the Lord Ganesha. Om. Salutations to the Lord Sri Krishna. Om. Salutations to Sadguru, who is puppet showman. You make 84 lakhs of puppets dance on the string of their past karma in the manner you wish. Number 2, you do not allow the string you hold to be seen, but surely you make the puppets dance. But your skill is so great that you are always aloof from all of them. 3, every jiva dances according to its stock of past karma. The power to make him dance is with you, though you have no visible hands. 4, just as the magnet makes an iron piece move by invisible power, you make all the beings dance by your invisible power. 5, though these jivas are perforce dancing at your will and not their own volition, the force of their pride is worth wondering about. They think that the form, the body is real and believe that they are free. 6, these are proud that they are very intelligent and extremely skillful in the proper actions. And there are others who also become adamant by similar foolish pride. 7, these persons, because of attachment to their bodies, forget that they are not the doers and become bound by karma, just like a person poisoned in his dream. 8, as it is foolish to say that I suffered from poisoning in my dream, but that has now subsided, they think that bondage and liberation are the real things. 9, this, your puppet show is not real, but you create an illusion that it is actual. This is your greatness, which is beyond our power of logical reasoning. 10, nobody knows your great art in creating a sense of life in that which is not animate. Even after doing everything, you are free from action and the performance of the action. 11, a non-doer, you become a doer, and being a doer, you remain a non-doer. This invisible occult art you perform cannot be known by anybody. If we set about to venture to see Maya, which is your power, it so happens that Maya itself gulps down the onlooker. But that is not the point. Actually, if we try to see you, that seeing is within the Sattva Guna, which is in the field of Maya. 13, your game and your powers are both beyond our capacity to know. Without letting your strings to be known, you show that all the beings are dancing in a very strange manner. 14, because of you, the world comes into being and becomes non-existent. But you do not feel that you are responsible for it. Who and how can see your game? You play clearly. In this way, you expand your game and all of a sudden you break it completely. You keep all the vikaras, modifications in their original state within the Mahat principle, but this action cannot be attributed to you. 16. One thing is sure, without your grace, nothing can be recognized in this context. And again, if there is complete blessings from you, the God, Janardana, can be experienced as manifest in this world. 17. And the mystery of it is, when that manifestation takes place, we also get ourselves merged into Him. The key to this phenomenon is that the sense of me and you does not remain there. 18. Janardana means self-bliss manifest evidently in the people at large when the sense of me and you does not remain. By His grace only, Bhagavata is being explained in a very lucid way. 19. In the 21st chapter, at the end, the final meaning indicated in the Veda of 3 divisions is said to be the maxim that Brahman is alone without a second and is imperishable. 20. Listening to this statement of the Lord, Uddhava thought it right to believe that Brahman is alone, complete, non-dual, and all-pervading. 21. He said to himself, according to Vedas, Brahman is one. And if I personally look deeply, it seems to be true. But how is that many great sages say that there are many basic elements or principles? 22. Holding this doubt in his mind, Uddhava started to speak out his question, seemingly to understand the problem, but with an ulterior good intention that the Lord should not stop talking. 23. He thought, if I say that I have realized Brahman and I am united with it, the Lord will immediately set about leaving this earth. Then I will miss his personal interview. 24. With all this anguish, he asked the question. Though he had no doubt in his mind, so the Lord was happy to listen to that question. 25. But the Lord himself thought it proper to continue answering the questions of Uddhava till he realizes that he and me are one and that the sorrow at the parting is false. 26. Eknath says, in this 22nd chapter, the Lord will specifically tell him the total number of elements in the creation, and in that, he will also describe Prakriti and Purusha and the phenomenon of birth and death. 27. Uddhava is asking the question because he wanted to know whether Atman is one or there are many Atmans, and also the exact number of elements which make up the whole universe.
उद्धव उवाच कथितत्वानि विश्वेश सङ्ख्यातान् ऋषिभिः प्रभो नवैकादश पञ्चत्रीण्यात्तत्वमिह शुश्रुम.
Meaning of the verse, O Lord, please tell how many principles are described by sages, O Vishvesha, such as 9, 11, 5, or 3, etc. I will like to listen. 28. Uddhava said, O Shri Krishna, you are the universe itself. You are the ruler of universe. You are permeating the universe. You are the witness to the universe. You are of the shape of the universe. And you are the only beautiful person in the universe. 29. When I say that you are yourself the universe, the qualities of inertia, dirty body, limitedness, and ignorance are attached. Therefore, I said that you are the ruler. 30. These three qualities are the products of Maya, but you are the ruler of that Maya, and therefore I call you Prabhu, the ruler. 31. Addressing Lord Sri Krishna with good words like the Uddhava most humbly asked him about the number of elements which make the universe. 32. Uddhava asked, the number of elements decided by the great powerful sages of great penances and knows of the past, present, and the future somehow appears to be irrelevant because they propose different numbers. 33. In the 19th chapter, you have yourself told me the number of elements, which I repeat here. 34. You told me that the total number of elements is 28. Please refer to the verse number 14 of that chapter. 35. You have counted 9 elements, Prakriti, Purusha, Mahat, Ahankara, and 5 great elements. 36. Further, you counted 10 organs, mind as the 11th element, 5 objects of senses, and 3 gunas, making the total as 28. 11 plus 9, 20. You have
9, 10, 20, 5, 25, 3 gunas.
You have counted 9 elements, 9.
11, 10 organs and mind.
10 organs and 11th element. And mind has 11 elements, 5 objects, 11 plus 5, 6, 6 plus 3, 9. Okay. Sorry. O the spouse of goddess Lakshmi, this was your statement. Let us consider the statements made by the other sages. 38. I'll tell you the details, please. Saying this, Uddhava began to give the details of the number of elements decided by the other sages. 39. He said, please listen, bear with me. There is a miracle in their statements about the Prakriti and Purusha.
केचित् षड्विंशतिं प्राहुः अपरे पञ्चविंशतिं सप्तैकेन वषट् केचित् चत्वार्येकादशापरे केचित् सप्तदश प्राहुः षोडशैके त्रयोदश एतावत्त्वं हि सङ्ख्यानां ऋषयो यद्विवक्षया.
Meaning of the verses, some say that there are 26 elements, while others say 25. Some say 7 or 9 or 6, or some say that there are 4 only, while other count only 11. Some say there are 12 elements, some say 16, while some say there are only 13 elements. Such is the variety of number of elements in the Prakriti as described by various sages. 40. Uddhava said, in the matter of total number of basic elements, great sages have difference of opinion. I'll tell you how it is. 41. One says, these principles are 26. Other says, shut up, don't speak further even a word. There are only 25 elements. The third says, why are you so adamant? There are only 7 principles. How do you count more? 43. One says, how strange. These people are not ashamed to chatter in vain. Really, there are only 9 elements. 44. Another sage ridicules these people and says, nowadays everybody has become cleverer. They are babbling. Only 6 elements are declared. 45. Some says, you do not know anything. Get aside. Why are you quarreling? Only 11 elements are decided. 46. Some other comes forward and says, you are ignorant but vainly proud. Great men of knowledge declare 17 elements only. 47. Still another laughs at them. Why are you breaking your head being proud of your knowledge? God's doing is unknowable. You see, there are 16 principles only. 48. Some person says, who will give credence to these vain childish persons? I say definitely there are 13 elements. 49. One says that there are 4 elements, while the other laughs at him and declares that there are 2 main principles only. 50. The third man comes forward and says to himself, why should I quarrel with these ignorant chatterers? There is only one principle of which all are expansions. 51. So saying Uddhava further addressed the Lord, such are the various opinions put forward by great sages. In the face of these, how can I decide the final number of 26 which you told me?
Gayanti pruthagayushman idanno vaktumarhasi.
Meaning of the verse. They propound variously in this way. O the Lord, please tell us definitely. 52. You are the Almighty God as Atman, to know whom various great sages so differently state the number of elements by using their intellect. 53. O Lord, you have told there is only one principle, while veteran sages say that there are many principles. So please tell me definitely. 54. You are the only right person to tell. When Uddhava requested like this, the Lord Shri Krishna was pleased. 55. Eknath says, all the sages have come at various conclusions and all of them are correct. All persons of knowledge know this. Now Shri Krishna is going to explain it.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha yuktaya santi sarvatra bhashante brahmana yatha okay, it's not me. Maya madiyam udgruhya vadatankinnu durghatam. There is like one ra for that Maya, right? That's not to be there.
Maya. Meaning of the verse, the Lord said, there are various arguments as these Brahmins say. What is impossible when these people are under the influence of my Maya? 56. The Lord said, O Uddhava, everyone talks as far as he knows. So the number of elements which they tell are accordingly correct. 57. O Uddhava, you may ask, if all opinions are correct, why they should try to disprove each other's opinions? But please wait, I'll tell you the secret of this also. 58. My Maya is beyond imagination. Nobody can understand it. It deceives the onlooker by creating the 3 worlds, which do not exist at all. 59. What the sages said or say is correct at that place based on their knowledge. 60. When by illusion, persons see serpent where there is only the rope, then of what color should the serpent be? Is it white, black, or red? Everybody will say what he sees or imagines. 61. Similarly, there is only one principle, which is Atman, which is absolute, devoid of gunas or modifications. But because of my Maya, those intellectuals count many elements. 62. Their talk is also false, as everything apparent by Maya is false. They put forward various arguments in support of their statement. I'll tell you the nature of those arguments. 63. Having said thus, the Lord began to explain the arrangements of elements in the universe. 64. The next 5 verses contain the speech of Lord Sri Krishna about that subject.
नैतदेवं यथार्थत्वं यदहं वच्मि तत्तथा एवं विवदतां हेतुं शक्तयो मे दुरत्ययाः.
Meaning of the verse: one man says, what you say is not correct. What I say is correct. Such is their way of quarrel. Really, there are innumerable powers of my Maya. 65. The power of my Maya is so great that in the men there arises great pride, and due to this, they use various complicated arguments and quarrel. 66. They have the great ego, complex of their having listened to great many books, and they say to each other, you are wrong and I am right. I've got supports from many books. 67. There are innumerable facts of my Maya because of the 3 gunas, and they cause these intellectuals to fight with each other with vehemence.
यासां व्यतिकरादासीत् विकल्पो वदतां पदं प्राप्ते शमदमेप्येति वादस्तमनुशाम्यति.
Meaning of the verse: diversity, which is a subject of controversy among the disputants, follows from the disturbance of the equilibrium of these gunas. When control of the mind and the sense organs are achieved, the diversity disappears and the controversy also subsides as a result of it. 68. The pride, which is caused by the imbalance in the gunas, creates tremendous doubt, and that pride adopts a severe argument and cuts the roots of that doubt. 69. But if the disorder in the gunas is subsided by effort, the rajas and tamas are decreased and the sattva guna becomes prevalent, which helps the success of the mind control as well as the control of the organs. 70. This dual control is so powerful that together with the doubts, the original proposals projected as opinions, as also the counter arguments, disappear just as the darkness is no more when the sun rises.
Hari Om. Yeah, we'll pause over here. Okay, my God, today's reading is so much. I lost the sense of time also. It's like it could have gone on and on and on. Okay, over to you, Sri Hariji, for your thoughts.
Yeah, continuing with yesterday's closing of the chapter, Uddhava was so clear and realizing the God, but he doesn't want to lose. He doesn't want the God to leave, and so he want to continue asking questions, and it was very explained clearly. Then subsequently, Uddhava, the initial verses of this chapter 22 was very nice, where he talked a puppet showman, like because of the past karmas, many people, jivas, are dancing, but but the God is holding the strings that are not visible, and he is holding the strings, but he does it as though he is not responsible for it. But the jivas thinking that because of their pride, because of their karma, they do it, but they develop ownership for that. They become very proud and they think they are very intelligent and they are doing on their own all these kind of explanations for. It's very clearly shows how unreal the people are, and with the help, because of Maya, how deluded they are and how they think they are doing everything was explained very clearly in the first few verses. Then, so further, Uddhava asked the question of why is that the universe is made of so many elements. He starts asking the questions, and it was so real that while I was reading, I also fell into that Maya, and my mind and the background started analytically counting the number of Prakriti's elements, and I really lost. Now I feel so ashamed and foolish of, when Eknathi says, Maharajji says 28, I didn't know why, by back of the mind, my mind was calculating from 9 plus 11 plus 3. Suddenly I said, how come it is 28? So foolish and and that exactly is the Maya. the, the pride and whatnot. All the three gunas, because of the three gunas dancing and creating all confusions. The rajas, which is the raja guna, which is actually quickly calculating and becoming active and falling into illusion, right? So, so the way he said was very interesting. Some says 11, some say 17, some say you are right, I am right. So it was very clearly explained of how these sages are becoming so proud and they negate each other, they argue with each other. So then the Lord says, they are also correct in their point of view, in their position. Very clearly explains with an examples that even somebody sees that as a rope as a snake, then it is one element. Then what is the color of the snake? One may see one color, the other may see other color. So then they argue. So according to their each person's mind and illusion, they may see different colors. So those things were all interesting explanation. And all the while, I was actually feeling very ashamed. I was kind of thinking, oh, how foolish I was reading all these things. That's all from Vivashaji. So very practical and very real as how this jiva is falling into Maya again and again. And these three gunas is making this uh, much worse. Like, yeah.
But beautiful. Anybody has any other thoughts to add on?
I liked the verse 524 very much in chapter 21. And I also had a very strange analogy. I mean, but when we've seen this movie Durandar, and I also think of the English movie Matrix. It's all about this invisible network, right? When you think of it, you don't know it's like that Dawood Abraham. You don't see him at all. You heard a name, you've never seen his pictures or where he exists and so on. But the kind of underworld is controlled with these invisible matrix of things, right? So I think those are the two analogies that came in. And I think it's really beautiful to imagine the string of these invisible, like we being manipulated as puppets in this ethereal space, right? And thinking we are managing our non-random motions, but everything is being governed by something else. So I think it's very humbling and interesting to see oneself in that framework.
Yes. Beautiful. And the karma theory, it says that he's not punishing or anything. We are getting served what we have ordered. So if our current karma we keep clean and good, our next order would be wise. Otherwise, if our current karmas are not purified, we will get something equivalent to it. So it's not God who is giving us. He's just moving because we don't remember what we have said. Leave aside past birth and all. 10 years ago, what we have said to whom? Or 20 years ago, what was our mindset? Or as a childhood, what we were. I don't even remember as a child what thoughts were encouraged. What we don't remember of this birth itself. What we remember of what births. So things we can only do now, this moment, this moment, this moment. This moment is past gone. So everything has to be monitored. What thoughts are we holding on? What words are we speaking? What are we generating? What order we are generating for future is our current thing that we have to be so mindful. So nice reminder, amazing. And what you correlated and all that was so beautiful, Vision. Matrix, Dhurandhar, invisible threads.
I also like this verse from 5, OV 538 to 540. or 539. And to get the blessings of the Guru, one should follow his own religion, listen to the spiritual scriptures, and learn to recite Vedas. For this blessing of Guru, one should be the meekest of the meek and should surrender oneself to the saints. Then only the Master Guru Janardana will be pleased. So, yeah, meekest of the meek, completely no ego at all, surrender completely, and to reach the, and also should follow the religion and Vedas, and then only Guru will be pleased, and then only will be able to understand the truth.
Very true. Just today, I was telling the kids over here, why should I teach y'all if y'all are not revising and coming? If I don't see y'all are not chanting well, I don't want to teach you. Now, if we're insignificant like me and the kids, we are doing in the, to get this kind of a knowledge, highest, how we discipline and why Guru will not say that. Like somebody like me who just said it today for the kids. But we are stuck on this, I won't teach you the next one. You practice and come and show me that you all are practicing. Let me see. I'm not saying you be perfect. Let me see you all are doing it. Let me see the effort is there. I don't see like that. I was telling them. And now I read this. So to be that, we'll have to be at what level? Amazing. Thank you for pointing that. Right, 39,540.
Yeah, even I like that very much. And I think this whole thing of revelation, right? One increasingly realizes as in this journey that the quieter, I wouldn't say quieter, but the more restraint one can exercise in, in the ripples of the world around, the more revelation um, of the deeper truths unwind.
Correct.
I
A
think
still
even
water
yesterday,
can only give a perfect reflection.
I think
And
yesterday also I
water.
heard Varshaji. Yeah, yesterday also I heard Varshaji, like the rituals and pujas that when it is performed, what will happen? The rajas and tamas will go, and sattva only remains. Only then you will do the meditation. Only then you are eligible to do the meditation, which means the purpose of doing these pujas and rituals is to remove the rajas and tamas part. Then get the oneness of the God. Then sattva comes, and then do the meditation based on the sattva, and realize that from duality to non-duality. Yesterday I forgot. But that went into my mind and say, why people do so so elaborate procedures and rich? Why are there so many things? Is only to reduce our the rajas part and do the thing, and then we become calm down our mind, and then the sattva only remains. So yesterday when Nikhila read, I remembered, then I forgot to talk.
Good you brought this point. Now definitely you all should go after this session to watch my WhatsApp status. Because today the pujari was the 4-year-old girl on the and then it was her first time, which lamp to light first, east side which, west side which, north side which, south side. How to give the name, where to put, which flower, what color. So good you said all this. I'm so happy because definitely you all watch, then you all understand what's happening out over here. Thank you, Sri. Very good.
I think it really brings sequencing and ordering, the just a heightened self-awareness in a procedure. It's like how a surgeon would function now. Is that kind of a mindset for a child or for someone who's who's starting out?
Also, an altar is there to bow down. But I'm not the superior. There is somebody
Yes.
superior than me. Where I have to offer and I'm not the receiver. I have to give. Then have, take, offer the prasad. So when kids get excited about what prasadam they are going to get, I tell them this. It's not for you, it's for the Lord. Then whatever it is, it would be yummy. So,
Yeah, one of the Hanuman Chalisas, there were a whole bunch of these kids and very noisy. And then one of the chanters very sweetly gave them all a flower and said, this one is each one of you. Now you have to wait for your turn to come to offer it to the Lord. And they all quietened down and they all felt so special, they felt so special.
Mhm. Okay. So we'll pause for today. It's 10:30 in Singapore. And then we meet tomorrow to continue from Ovis 70. Let's see what this chapter reveals. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Hari Om everyone. Thank you for joining. See you all tomorrow.
Thank you, Asha. Hari Om.
Thank you, everyone.